Hello everybody, today I'll be telling you guys how to install GU 1.1. Um, First thing I suggest you do is you read through most of this and then read through the installation guide. Once you've read through that, you want to get a clean install of KSP. It does not, I, doesn't have to be completely clean, I just don't suggest adding on top of a heavily modded install because that can break things. Um, what I suggest you do is you go to, well, after you've done all that, you should go to download. Okay, GU core. This is the core of GU. Everything is built on top of this. These up here are full systems, which means all the bodies are around a single star, or in the case of Alpha Centauri, 3 stars. Alien Worlds and Stellar Adventures are both expansions. They That means it adds a bunch of bodies, except the bodies are very spread out. So Alien Worlds adds a bunch of one planet system, while Stellar Adventures adds a bunch of ambient stars and a black hole. I will be telling you guys how to install GU Core, Alpha Centauri, and Stellar Adventures. Even though the install process is exactly the same for all of them, I'll just go through it twice. We're going to install all our dependencies with CCAN because that's just far easier than looking through the forums for them. So the first thing we're going to want to do is going to want to go to compatible KSP versions. We're going to go to 1.12, 1.9, and 1.3. A hard dependency of GU is Copernicus, so you're going to need to install that. If you're playing with visuals, I suggest, well, you're going to need to get Eve Redux, and you're going to need to get Scatter. We're just going to install those. Get, there'll be a page before this. Don't just click continue. Don't touch anything, just click continue. Scatter Sunflare. Scatter default config. You're going to want to get the default config for it. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to check in here, make sure you have all of these. This is the most basic you can get. If you're installing Stellar Adventures or Lich, which what I suggest you get is a mod called Instantiator. These will add the jets and also rings. If you're using again, if you're using Stellar Adventures or Lich, what you're going to want, you're also going to want to get Singularity. This adds better rings and gravity lens distortion, so it will warp around the object. Once we have those installed, we're going to want to install GU Core. This is fairly easy. You just take this, take GU, you drag it to game data. If you're using AVP, or Spectra, or SVE, or any stock configs like that, you don't want to get this. If you aren't, I suggest you get this. It just adds clouds for Kerbin and Juna, bodies like that. Then, to install Stellar Adventures, what we're going to do, we're going to open it, we're going to drag GU to game data. To install Alpha Centauri, we're going to open it, we're going to drag GU to game data. Next, if you guys want to remove a system, you go to underscore systems and you just delete it. Like that. Do not use GU general settings to disable systems. it will break visuals. Next, we just run the game. So, a very common issue is that it will get stuck on expansion loading complete. Just leave it. It's loading, and no matter what it says, even if it says it's not responding, um, it will keep loading. If the main issue you'll see is the screen will go black. You'll have the loading thing down here. It'll be spinning, and you'll hear the main menu music. That means something's gone wrong, and what you guys want to do is you want to go into the Discord. You want to go to GU help, and you want to post your ksp.log, which can be found right here, just above ksp.exe. You want to post a picture of your game data, and you also want to say what systems you're using, and also specify the issue. And we should be able to help you fairly easily. So it will load. And just like that, this can freeze sometimes. It can also sometimes go unresponsive. There we go. Okay. Start game. Yep, forgot about that. Go in here. You wanna start. I suggest you start a new game because if you run an older save, uh, things can break. Crafts can get flown. Well, can fly anywhere. If they're outside of, well, if they're orbiting far out. I just suggest you don't do it. If we zoom out, there we go. Now see all the stars like our black hole friend. Well, that concludes the first part of the video. The second part will be teaching you guys how to install the Homeswitch. Alright. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to delete this file. Since it's deleting the stock bodies, this is trying to apply to the stock bodies, Eve will throw a fit and not work. So you're going to want to delete this. That also goes for Spectra and AVP and SPE and things like that. Next, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to delete Solar Adventures just for the sake of loading time. It's not, you can run the Homeswitch with any of these, as long as you don't try to use two Homeswitches at the same time. Then you're going to want to go into GU General Settings. What you never want to do is you never want to touch any of these. Any of this, don't touch. This stuff, I suggest, unless you're messing with rescale, I also should suggest you don't touch. Gravity fix is fixes gravity. This, if you're having performance issues with scatters, I suggest you turn them off. Well, you turn it down, not off, to like 4 or 2. If this is, it's okay. I suggest you don't. I suggest you just leave this off because if you have it on, then you can't see the flares from other stars. Asteroid belts. Unless you're using the galactic layout, which is down here, don't mess with it. If you're using the galactic layout, you should turn that off. Scale 1. If you have Sigma dimensions and you want to rescale GU, just install Sigma dimensions, set this to 2.5 or 10, and that's all you need to do. So, time for the home switches. Just to turn it on, just go to change this X to anything, like AC, EE, etc. to turn it off, just set it to X. So make sure you save it by doing Control S. And we're just going to close this, and we're going to run the game. So, as you can see, the game's now loaded, and it doesn't have any visuals. This is to be expected. The way you fix this is the way you fix this is, let me just turn on the audio, is you want to shut down KSP. You want to go over here, you just want to delete these two files, and you just want to relaunch the game. And I'll see you when it's loaded. So we're back, visuals work, and you're ready to play. I'm just gonna make a new save. So if you're using Tau Ceti Mare, Epsilon, Eridani, and Ron, or the galactic layout, there's going to be an issue with you won't be able to time warp in this KSC screen. Nova Carboni and Aquil do not have this issue. Go to the tracking station here. It's all set up, and you're now where Nova Carboni is. There is an issue where this is where this will be where Kerbin is. Well, Kerbal was. So you'll still have like Corwin in the exact same place as it normally is. That's just an issue we can't really fix with KSP's limitations. And that's basically the whole install tutorial. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.